Hi, Mide. How are you doing
Hi.
today?
Very well, thank you.
Right. So the conversation we are having today is self-care versus self-worth.
Okay.
For me, self-care is what I do. Self-worth is what I believe. And now looking at self-care is both internal and external. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm going to come from an angle that might sound somehow to the audience watching now. So I would say self-care can sometimes be uncomfortable. So most times it doesn't have to be these glamorous things that we see people do before we say it's self-care. People consider self-care to be, oh, you're going to spa, you're going on solo dates and things like that. But self-care can also be you saying no to things, you resting, right? You taking your time to do things for yourself. For example, I'm a social media manager, and when you hear social media manager, you think, oh, this person will definitely be on their phone 24/7, working and trying to stay online to discover trends and all. But as a social media manager, I practice self-care by just working out without my phone, going to the market, going to places without holding my phone, all because I just want to avoid the screen. Self-care can also be deleting apps on your phone because of pressure. For example, now on LinkedIn, I still feel people talk about, oh, they once deleted an app and all of that. I don't blame them, because LinkedIn can somehow pressure people. Like, you see the amount people announcing things like that, and they're getting a job and you're not getting that kind of thing. So you can do that just to secure, or to just take care of your mental health as well. So self-care, I agree with you that self-care can be external and internal, right? But I just believe that if you are not doing this thing internally and it's just about the external aspect, you are just doing
That's not alignment.
it's not alignment. So it's not exactly self-care. You're just taking care of the outer part and ignoring the inner part of you, resting, doing things that would actually make you feel sane. So that's what I feel self-care is about.
So when we're looking at self-care and self-worth interwoven, they actually work hand in hand.
They do.
So when both of them align, that's where growth starts. That's where growth begins. And talking about self-care, like I rightly established earlier, I mentioned that self-care is both internal and external. You've also emphasized on that. And I also want to shift this in, that self-care is not all about the aesthetic. The social media, trends and everything makes us believe that self-care is only about skincare routines, going to the gym, getting fit physically. But the internal part of you that nobody sees, your emotions, your mental health, the way you process things, the way you say no, not feeling guilty of, trying to have your time to yourself, not prioritizing people over yourself. All of these things are what compress together into self-care.
And I will even say social media has made self-care look like it is so expensive. Self-care might not be expensive. Just do all this minimal thing that I've said. In fact, set boundaries. It is also self-care. Setting boundaries, like limiting the number of people that have access to you, direct access to you. Limit it for your mental health. That is self-care. You not responding to message and instead going to sleep. It is self-care, all because your body needs it and you know that you need it. That's it. I may not be in the best position to advise sleep, because sometimes me myself, I'm workaholic, like I work throughout the night, but I also rest as I went there. I rest when my body tells me you need this. That is self-care. It doesn't just have to be solo dates, spa, and all of those things that you mentioned.
So now let's talk about self-worth. You were mentioning boundaries the other time. And I think boundaries is one of the things that makes you tell us that you actually rate yourself.
Exactly.
Because the value you place on yourself is the same thing that people will replicate to you. What do you have to also say about that? Do you have any experience in that line?
I think for self-worth, and when it comes to boundaries, let me talk about the job aspect. So for example, some set of people are still working or in a particular company or industry or whatever, all because they are just after the fact that they don't want to lose it, or they don't have other sources of income and things like that. See, if you are in a place where it is toxic, or you are emotionally drained, a place that is not comforting, a workspace like that, it's going to drain the hell out of you. And that's not you practicing self-worth. Self-worth is you knowing when to walk away from job opportunities like that.
Friendship, families,
relationship where you are not valued. Please walk away for your mental health. I've had to walk away before from a particular job while I was still in school. And the job was quite toxic. I was doing a lot as at that moment, and the kind of job environment was not even helping matters. Funny enough, I didn't have a second plan. I didn't have a backup plan, but I just knew that God was going to come. It was very risky. I would not advise that you should not have a backup plan. In fact, I would say that whenever you want to leave things like that, you should have another plan set aside to just be the primary plan, right? So I had to walk away because, in fact, I was drained mentally. Right? It wasn't just helping me. Another thing I would say about self-worth is that, what do you think about yourself? Like you said, self-care is what you do, self-worth is what you think. What do you think without the followers, without the likes, without the engagement of other people, without that validation, without you having to ask people and say, oh, is this good enough? Should I put it out enough? What do you think about me? Without all of that, what do you think about yourself? Have you asked yourself, if I don't have all of these things, will I still rate myself this way? Will I still feel this way? Will I still say, oh yeah, I am good, I can do this, and all of that? Self-worth is just you like prioritizing yourself. That's how I would say. Your emotions, your feelings, you setting things aside, like putting some things to just be about you.
So now when we are also talking about self-worth, we need to mark it out that having to set boundaries is going to be painful. It's going to be even your self-care. The Bible says love your neighbor as yourself. But what we often discover is that people tend to show love more than the way they even show love to their own self. When we were having this conversation before we started the show, you were talking about how we take care of our phones, how we treat it, how we make sure the screen is guided, with screen guard, how we wear it in pouch.
And I imagine if you had bought an iPhone 16 now, or this trending iPhone 17, the way you will so take care of it, buy a pouch for it, put screen guard just to make sure that it is safe. That is how we should just apply that thing to this real life.
That's for the external now. For the internal, how you try to clean up those footages you don't need again, because you need space.
That one, exactly.
So it's both internal and external for self-care. For self-worth, it's all about your boundaries, what you believe about yourself, who you think you are, your values, the things you hold on to. Those are the things that will play out on your own self and the way people will value. And it doesn't have to, your self-worth should not be attached to any material thing.
Sis, please give me the opportunity to say this. You people drag your ear closer. Let me just emphasize more on that boundaries part. Please set boundaries. For example, I did something, WhatsApp has something like a list where it's just like a tool to just keep you organized. And I have something there like people I consider important. I just have something like important, valuable, my students, like I just added a tag like that. That is like setting boundaries. So all of those people that sorry, this is not me insulting people or saying things like that. Well, all of those people that don't, but we're just saying the reality. We are saying the truth that would help you. So all of those people that don't have all of those tags there, I make sure that the time I probably respond to them or do whatever tasks I have to do for them is when I am free and I have done most of the things I have to do for myself. So it's about putting myself first. Set boundaries, please. Limit the access that people have to you. Just limit it. That's how you can help yourself.
Thank you so much, Midi, for emphasizing on that. Boundaries is good for yourself. I mean, good for both your mental health, your emotions.
Exactly.
Boundaries is even what will help you to know that this person is good, but it's not good for you. Not just in relationship, even in friendship. Do you know that we outgrow friendships?
Yes. So that one.
And that's also not allowing a friendship you have outgrown to also come in the space of a present friendship is also boundaries. Is also self-worth. And it doesn't mean that you're fighting with anybody. It doesn't mean that you're dragging anything with anybody. It's just the reality.
And you understanding
you understanding what you want and where you're going. That focus is actually needed. Focus, tenacity, resilience to say no and stick to it without guilt, without having, even your boss, you tell them, oh, this is not part of my JD.
But don't be disrespectful.
Yes, you have to do it respectfully.
Apply wisdom in anything.
You have to do it respectfully. Media was talking about jobs the other time, and I was trying to say that I also have a similar experience. I took off the job I was doing last year. All of them. Okay, maybe not all of them. I actually left one. But the one I left, the woman later came and told me she can't afford going forward, at least for that period. So I was left with no jobs. No jobs exactly. And
how were you able to manage?
This is not for the show. It was risky. And one thing I just discovered was that I know what I wanted. The jobs were not giving me time to even chase what I wanted. So I knew that, okay, if I'm doing this job and I don't have time to chase what I wanted, then this should be out.
Right,
even though it was giving me, some surviving, money and all of that. But I just told myself, I'm done. Yeah. So that same job came again. For more like a contract for like a week. Guess what? The amount I was being paid for a whole month, I was paid half of that amount for just 1 week.
Can you imagine?
So sometimes you just need to have conversations with yourself, reflect, and tell yourself the truth. Hi, Miracle.
Hi, Mimizi.
Welcome on Sabi Girls Show.
Thank you for having me.
We're glad to have you here. How does it feel to be here?
I'm elated to be here.
I love that word. Right. So we've been talking about self-care versus self-worth. Myself and Media has been able to do justice to self-care. I want you to talk more on self-worth.
Right. So talking on self-worth, self-worth is how much value you place on yourself as a person. Self-worth is not just not depending on people to validate you, not ensuring that someone is always there to tell you, oh, you're looking good, your hair is nice. Having that self-worth that you don't always need someone to validate you before you feel good about yourself. Self-worth is not putting or attaching your importance based on the job you're doing or the car you're driving or the kind of hair you make. Self-worth is just believing in yourself and having value, knowing that you are valuable without people, even when there's no one else there to tell you, just believing in yourself. That's what I understand about self-worth.
Thank you so much. And like what you just said, the validation part, self-worth is more of internal.
Yeah.
We talked about self-care being internal and external. But from your explanation now, I can derive that self-worth is more of internal.
Yeah.
And the internalizing part of self-worth is that you don't have to literally show that, oh, this is me. Do you get or write it on your face that this is what I represent, but you just act it out when the need comes up, right?
Yeah.
You learn to say no, you make sure you protect your peace, and you ensure that you put people into their place while you also keep your own space. You ensure that you just run stuffs in such a way that people can perceive your values, the things that you hold on to. So thank you so much, Miracle.
Yeah,
it's my pleasure. The funniest thing is that Miracle is my namesake. My real name is Miracle. Right? My nickname is Mimize. So thank you so much, Miracle, for coming on the show. So guys, let's know what you think about this particular conversation in the comment section. We'd like to hear from you, read from you. Thank you so much for the support so far. We love you all. Sabi Girls Show signing out. Bye.